Hi friends, welcome to Success Strategies. I love doing these. They're a lot of fun and I love the feedback we're getting. Thank you very much. It informs and, as I like to say, enlightens other success strategies that you might hear about. Feel free to offer those ideas because we love getting them. Today I want to talk about a concept in my Power of Losing Control book and in my upcoming book about we are the stories we tell ourselves we are. There was an exercise I read about a long time ago, or I might have a shorter memory these days, it could have been yesterday, about how do you know who you are? What if it said, write down on a piece of paper who you are, but I said you can't use your salary, your hobbies, your age, your family, your relationships, your job. Now, you've been around yourself roughly since birth, every one of you. You should know who you are. But that question just got harder if you think about it. And in the end, who we are the stories we tell ourselves we are. Stories are narratives. Narrative is, as I wrote in a psychoanalytic journal recently, the Rosetta Stone of the mind. When we can understand the stories that drive us, then we say that's who we are. We're starting to understand our mind. And then we can start to understand the patterns and outcomes and which stories don't serve us, even though we identify with them, and which stories do. We'll also start to understand, if we're open-minded enough, some of those stories are complete BS. They're not necessarily true. But this begins with examination. Instead of saying, I am what I like, I am not what I don't like, we could say, I'm not one that's ever going to travel to Europe. I wonder why that is. Or someone that says, I love the city of Detroit and everything about it, the football team and the baseball team and downtown, and great. What's the story behind that? And maybe that story is why he'll never travel to Europe. You like what's comfortable, familiar, part of your heritage, sense of history. You like to reach back. Maybe. I mean, it could be a number of things. But it's only when we understand the context of we are the stories we tell ourselves we are, can we start to use the Rosetta Stone of narrative to understand the mind. The Rosetta Stone is the stone that was discovered in Egypt that helped us understand how to read hieroglyphics. I have some on the wall up there. And to understand the mind, we have to understand the narrative. But without the context, that are the stories we tell ourselves we are, we can't begin to understand it. We're still stuck in our likes, our dislikes. So a good exercise, and we'll get into that later, but just to introduce the idea, is to think about, if I meet somebody, if I see Joe and I see him speak for 3 hours and I really enjoyed the speech and I get a chance to meet him later, I'm going to want to tell him my stories. Now, I'm not making this up. I've been speaking for over 25 years. That's exactly what happens. Because you don't think I can know you without knowing your stories. So a part of your mind knows that for me to know you, I have to know your stories. That's the part of the mind you want to use to say to yourself, are my stories really that definitive? And do they really form a foundational context which drives my likes and my dislikes, what I'll do, what I won't do, what I'll consider, what I won't consider, what I think I'm capable of, and what I think I'm not. It's a very enlightening exercise. I hope you enjoy it. Really fun success strategy. Thanks.